Hello everybody and welcome back to art. We're going to jump right into it today by getting our supplies together. So you will need a pair of scissors, a piece of white construction paper, a piece of black construction paper, a pencil, and a glue stick. Now I know I did not provide a glue stick for you in your art packet. So if you have a glue stick at home, that works great. If you have the squeeze bottle Elmer's glue, that works okay too. I figure you guys have these from your homeroom supply list. So we're going to jump right into it. Now the first step that we have to do today is we're going to take our black piece of construction paper and we're going to fold it in half. Okay? Fold it in half. We're going to unfold it and we're going to cut that line. Alright, we're going to save one of these pieces off to the side because we don't need it right now. The next step we're going to do is we're actually going to try and make this into a square. So basically you could just kind of fold it over and kind of see where at what point that makes a square, and it's something like about that much folded over. Okay, so all I've done is I've folded it to where it's not all the way halfway, it's just a little bit off. So it might take you a couple of tries to try and figure out how it is to make a square. But that's pretty much what we're after. We can even go a little bit smaller than that. I'm going to trim off a little bit of this side right here. And I'm also going to flip it and trim a little bit more of this side. Now, if you're looking for straight lines, you can use a ruler. Draw the straight line and then cut it. Or you can just kind of go with it like I'm doing here. And you can keep trimming and trimming and trimming and going smaller, but that means that your cuts are also going to be smaller. And you'll see what I mean here in a little bit. So I have my square prepared on my white piece of paper. The next step you're going to do is go ahead and start designing kind of your shapes, because right now we're working with positive and negative space. So right now the positive space is right here that I'm actually putting down on this space right here, because right now there's negative space, there's nothing here. Okay, negative means there's nothing there, and then the positive space is whatever it is that I put down on top of this. So keep that in mind as you guys are thinking through the shapes that you want to add to your art, okay, because we have positive and negative space. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my pencil and I'm gonna go ahead and draw some of these shapes coming in from this side coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line, kind of a circle, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw another line like that, and maybe even one more. So I have 3 lines. The next step over here is I'm actually going to draw a curved line, almost like a wave kind of shape. I'm going to come down with it. Curve shape, come down with it. So I have 2 of them now. Okay, same thing here. I could do another symmetrical kind of shape. I could do how about a geometric kind of shape? Like this. In here, I could do a whoopty kind of shape. I could do a pointy kind of shape. You guys can kind of make them up as you go. Very abstract as well. Totally up to you. Now, the next step for you is you're going to have to take your scissors and carefully cut along these lines and make sure that you kind of keep track of where they went. So, when you cut them, you're going to have to keep them off to the side so that we don't lose them, okay? So cut along these lines, and I'll get back with you here in a little bit. Alright, boys and girls, so now that I have my shapes kind of cut out, I'm ready to try and start piecing them back together. So basically, I find out where they came from, I have all of my pieces kind of together, and I find out exactly where they came from. So all of these pieces came from here, those pieces came from here, and these ones came from here. Now, what you could do with this project is you could cut them and simply move them out and spread them out and create designs that way. Okay, that's one way to do this project. You create some space in between the lines that you cut and you have yourself a design, which is pretty cool. All right, what I like to do is keep the middle piece where it belongs here. Okay, so I have this middle piece that I cut out, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other ones that I have cut out. Okay, so the middle piece stays, and then I take the outside ones and I flip them like a mirror image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is all of these were here together. I'm going to go ahead and take them and flip them the other way around. So this one right here goes here like this. It kind of connects just like that. And then this one that was the next one, right? I'm going to go ahead and flip it and do that. And then I'm going to flip it again to the outside. So you could do it that way. Or you could flip them on the inside and keep it smaller this way. So you can kind of decide how you want to do that. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and do that this way as well. I'm going to go ahead and take it, I'm going to flip it upside down. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it upside down on the inside of the last one right there. Okay? Go all the way around and keep doing that. Alright, boys and girls, so there are a couple different ways you can go there. As you can see, I kind of flip some back and forth trying to decide. You can make a mirror image like this and have them kind of inside one another where they go, or you can flip them upside down like I did here, where you leave it to where it's opposite. So you have your positive and negative space right here, or you can do it like a mirror image. Alright, so it's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. So I have my mirror image, positive, negative space. All right, so the next step for you is to go ahead and get everything in place where you want it. I might actually shift my paper because it's actually going off a little bit here on my edges. So very carefully, I'm going to take all of my pieces, I'm going to flip them to where they all belong this way, and hopefully that solves the problem of my stuff running off the edge. Alright, now as you can see, I have all of my pieces in place where they belong and nothing is running off the edges. So the next step is to carefully take your glue stick, unscrew it just a little bit, and go ahead and start gluing down all of these pieces. Now I like to start with the middle piece here to kind of have a point of reference for all of my other pieces to get glued around. So very carefully, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this middle piece. I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it in the middle of my paper. Alright, now that I have the middle piece kind of glued down using my glue stick, I can go ahead and carefully start gluing the rest of the small pieces around the edges. Now, as you can see, I have all of my pieces glued down, so I don't need my glue stick anymore. I'm going to go ahead and twist it back down, put the cap on till it clicks, and set it off to the side. So, as you can see, I have some positive and negative space, right? Now we know that the positive space is the stuff that we added to it, and the negative space is where it's kind of empty around the outside of it. So you can kind of flip it around, and you have a really cool abstract design that you created with simple shapes, right? You drew some lines with your pencil, okay? Then you used your scissors very carefully and kind of cut stuff out, and then you just kind of glued it, flipped it, or you flipped it, and then you glued it down on your paper. I've always liked these. They turn out really nice. You can also do it the opposite way, where you use your background paper. Instead of the white paper, you use black, and then you glue white pieces of paper down on top of that. So you can always try that as a second try after you finish the first one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project, learning about positive and negative space. You guys can kind of experiment if you want to try again, like I said, with another piece of paper, creating different shapes. These are very abstract shapes. You can do simple triangles, you could do circles, squares, if some of these more complex abstract shapes were a little too tough for you. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. Stick around for some other lessons coming up for next week, based on some of the things that you guys have probably already learned from me in the classroom, as well as some of the stuff from this week. So as always, have fun, be original, stay tuned. All right, bye-bye.